Are you a filmmaker who wants to make their first feature film, but you aren't sure what gear you need to be able to pull it off? Then this is the video for you. Today, I'm going to tell you all the essential filmmaking gear you need to make your first feature film. Hello everyone, welcome to Doom Productions. Here we make feature films and videos about filmmaking. My name is Ethan, and today I'm going to show you all the gear you need to make your first feature film. And before we get started, I just want you to know this list is not all-inclusive. But if you aren't sure what things you need, this is a great starting point to start building out your collection of equipment, and hopefully will let you start building up and figuring out the things that you actually need in order to pull off your next shoot. With that being said, let's kick off the list with the first thing you're going to need to make your movie. Obviously, to make a movie, you're going to need a camera, but what you shoot on is entirely up to you. When it comes to your first movie, there's so much you're going to be learning, and so much of this process is going to be figuring things out over time that it doesn't matter if you have a really expensive camera or a cheap camera. You just need to get out there and start filming. So the best piece of gear you can have is the thing that you already own. So whether that means you're shooting a movie on your smartphone, or if that means you're shooting a movie on something like your parents' old Handycam. Whatever you have access to, that's the piece of gear that you should be shooting your first movie on. Not because it's the best, but because it's what you have and what you can start using right away. The next piece of gear you'll need is a tripod. And this doesn't need to be anything fancy. Right now, I have this camera set on a stack of books on top of my desk. It doesn't need to be great, but you just need something that's gonna be able to hold your camera steady. Obviously, sometimes handing off your camera to someone and making the shot handheld is gonna work just fine for your movie. But plan ahead of time. Know what you have, get something if you need it, but it doesn't need to be great. There are plenty of tripods you can get for $20. You just need something that's gonna get you started. So find the best tripod for you and buy it, because it's gonna be better than nothing and you don't need to spend a lot of money. You don't need to buy an expensive mic, but having some form of audio recorder is going to be better than just having the audio that is on your camera. So what we recommend using for people starting out is your phone. You have a voice memo app built right in, and once you hit start on it, you can just start recording audio right from your phone, and it's going to sound perfectly clean and clear. This isn't the best solution all the time, but for 90% of your shoot, this is more than enough to get very, very clean audio. And if you're shooting on your phone already, there are plenty of cheap audio recorders that you can buy, or you can just find a lavalier mic that you can plug right into your camera. We say this a lot on our channel. Filmmaking is a creative risk. You don't want to also make it a monetary risk. So don't pour tons of money up front into your movies only for it to fall through. Take the time to practice. Over time, you will get better as a filmmaker. Nothing a filmmaker has ever made has come out good on their first try. It takes years and years of practice to get to a point where you're going to be really good at filmmaking, and that's okay. It's taken us 8 years to get to where we are now, and we're still learning tons of things. So with you starting out in your filmmaking journey, don't worry about buying tons of money on gear. In fact, stop watching film gear reviews after this. They are not going to help you in the long run, as fun as they are to watch. The best thing you can do as a filmmaker is to get out there and practice your craft. Whether that means going out and taking photos every day to work on your composition, or opening up your notes app to write a scene out for your next script. What you should be doing is putting in the hours ahead of time and practicing until you can't make your next movie with the gear you have, and you need to buy that next piece of equipment. That's when you know that it's time to buy the next thing, and that's when you invest in your next piece of gear, is when you know you can't pull off your next project without it. So stop worrying about the gear that you don't have and worry about the gear that you do. That's how you're going to grow as a filmmaker, and that's how you're going to get better and better. Hopefully this list helps you out with the gear that you need when you're starting out, and good luck on your filmmaking journey. If you'd like to learn more about filmmaking, this is the place to be. Here at Doom Productions, we put out videos every week where we give our best tips for new filmmakers who are starting out in their craft. So with that being said, subscribe down below, like this video, and we'll see you in the next one.